Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
All right, let's get this episode done before the cat unplugs everything. Which is a good segue. I was like, I did post a picture of producer Ludo setting up the show for us on our Instagram and Blue Sky, so follow us there. You can follow us on Twitter, but no, it's there. We're not going to use it.
Yeah, no, just don't. Don't create an account for Twitter.
No.
Create a Blue Sky.
Yes.
If you can figure out how it works, create a Mastodon, but we're not on there. I'm on there, but I don't use it. I just use it to observe.
I picked Blue Sky. Actually, I guess we all picked Hive, but rip.
Yeah, well, I mean, it exists, just...
I didn't keep mine. I mean, it still exists, but it's not my phone.
It's not dead, but it's just not here right now.
Yeah. Much like somebody's career. Anyway, welcome to DSQ. That will come up later, too. Anyway, it's China. Round 2, week 2. Technically, week 3 is no race next week, so that's nice, I guess.
Yippee.
Our first sprint of the season. Our first chaos of... No, that's not true.
No, it's definitely not.
Our second straight chaos in the season. Oh, yeah. Welcome. We're glad you're here. You could choose many multiple F1 podcasts, and you chose ours. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, we're already in a yap mood. Let's do this. Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm getting the happy yap out now, because I think we're both going on fucking Steve Dangle levels of fucking raging it.
I mean, I could be worse. I could definitely be worse.
Oh, man. All right. What do you got? I feel like you have something straight off the thing to go. You were like ready. I was like, I'm gonna go yap.
I just have yaps. I just have yaps all throughout it.
Oh,
like
okay.
there's shit all throughout here. Like the admin and meme game this week were on point, but a lot of it comes later on. So spoilers for everything else.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we can start off with we'll see some pre-race stuff. China once again resurfaced because it went so well last year and it actually worked out.
Resurfaced.
But it actually worked out better this year. But yes, so basically a brand new track, perfect for 5 rookies who've never raced here before. Other than that, of course, since these notebooks are so good, again, link in the description, not a sponsor, but if you like it, these planners are awesome. But the tire compounds, of course, we are going almost, really pretty, almost all the way up to the top of the harder compounds. The C2, your C3, your C4. No wets or intermediates required this week, so nothing there. Super high tire pressures because shit was exploding. And yeah. Also, welcome back the old sector colors.
Yippee! I love the colors. I hated the ones that they had originally. It was very pastel. Very not demure.
Yep, and also welcome back to having the session title on the timing screen and having tire compounds. Ooh.
All right, upgrades. The name of the game this week is Aero. So RB, that's Racing Bulls, brings some circuit-specific aero/drag upgrades. McLaren brings just a new rear brake duct winglet for their aero. And Sauber brings Coke, a test Coke engine cover for, you guessed it, Aero. So, yeah, just Aero this week on the upgrades. Power units, Yuki gets a whole new power unit, and Jack also takes a whole new power unit. Every piece. So,
That's early.
that is early, but maybe they're going with the whole tried and true, hey, get everything out of the way at the start of the season, that way you don't take any penalties later on, unless you really, really have to. No RNC upgrades this week. No having to change in any of the... whatever they're called. God, I don't know why I can't
Restricted
think.
number components.
I know restricted number components. I just couldn't remember what that is. I know what it is. The gearbox. There we go. Woo! All right.
Gearbox, engines, not the hose, though.
No.
Or the rubber.
And then, let's see. Other than that, I did have an early summons in here for Williams for an alleged breach of 3.2.2 and 3.1516 of the F1 technical regs for failing to provide video files recorded by the wireless forward and rearward facing cameras in specified time. I didn't write the result, but I'm pretty sure all they got was a fine. I think it was 50,000 euros, 40,000 of which was suspended.
Correct. As long as they do not forget an SD card between now and the end of the year, they will not have to pay 40,000 euros.
Well, if I know one thing about Williams, it's technical difficulties. So, listen, they're just now getting off of Excel. Okay, they are trying their damnedest.
Actually, to save money, they're on OpenOffice Libra. Microsoft 365 is expensive. All right. That leads into that infringement, of course, happened during FP1. So let's get into the FP only one. With, of course, again, we have a lot of rookies who haven't drove here. Last year basically was a brand new race anyway, so we're still working, basically learning a track still. Of course, China, very technical-esque, crazy turn 1 through 3 sequence. Hairpins and more hairpins. Well, there's just 2, but 3? No, that's more. Never mind. Yeah,
there's 2 hairpins. It's the turn 6 and turn 14.
Yeah.
And then the fucking straight from hell.
Yep.
The T13 to T14.
Yeah, so lots of all that in FP1. Obviously not a whole lot of notes. Just everybody trying to get rookies trying to recover, learn the new track with the one session because it is our first sprint of the year. Thought I had a sneeze there, excuse me. Quick little notes from FP1. Alex and Lawson, or Liam and Alex. My notes are all over the place. I was swapping first names and last names and nicknames all through the place.
I mean, it's a sprint weekend. It's going to be a little chaotic, so
And 2
makes
a.m.,
sense.
10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Yep.
So
Be fine if it was, America when you have some decent sleep. Meanwhile, us staying up till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
to figure out shit from China.
Taking 1 hour naps and then, like me, Thursday, like watched FE1, took literally an hour, watched sprint quali, slept for 3 hours, went to work. Yeah. Anyway, Alex and Liam off the track real quick. Just new surface, trying to get everything. Those seem like everyone's like, oh, the grip sucks. Those 2 were, and then everyone else was like, hey, the grip's so much better than last year. So I don't know what happened there. Charles, the other one, also having a moment in that turn 1, turn 2 complex, a little bit of gravel. Least of their worries. Biggest one, red flag with 13 minutes. Jack, in his continued unfortunate start here, just in one of the most weird power failures, just cuts. It's just not even you get most of the time you hear that rev up and then stutters and kicks. It was just whoop, just gone. No engine, no power steering. So he managed to get that right at the end of that. What did I say that was? I didn't put on there, but I think it was turn 6 area. Yeah. So I managed to get it off. Recovery vehicle. Still red flagged it, but not that long. But of course, you lose a couple runs there on your free time. Your only free practice. Yep. And then, of course, Williams. I guess forgot as the joke. They just didn't communicate that they had to put the SD cards into the things. This was all the new race directive or technical directive for the flexi wing investigations, I guess. I was saying just a fine as long only 80% off as long as they don't do it again. Everybody, at least at time of recording, which I would assume because we've already gone through everything else, DSQ wise, was compliant, as Williams as well. They didn't feel like Williams still had to they didn't DSQ him for the weekend for that. So
yeah, thankfully.
As we move on to 2 a.m. or 2:30, sorry, got an extra 30 minutes in there.
I also made that mistake the day of because I told one of my friends, 2 o'clock I have to dip out, and then I looked, I was like, oh wait, it's actually 2:30. So
yes, of course, our first sprint weekend of the Alex shakes in the of 2025 for the 2025. I'm sick of it already. Hopefully we're through our 2 firsts being race weekend and sprint weekend, so hopefully we can cut that shit out. Sprint qualifying time. Of course, the shortened version, which was good because it means I got even more, like extra 15 minutes of sleep from a normal quality session. Woohoo!
Woo! Sleep schedules. How do they work?
And it, I would say surprising, not surprising. I don't have notes for any of this.
I mean, they didn't really leave us room for notes. So
True. Well, I think it was pretty straightforward sprint quality.
Yeah.
We'll just go through your top 20, unless you got anything.
Yeah.
I mean, your top 20, your whole 20.
Yeah.
P20, Liam Lawson. Ha! P19, Nico Hulkenberg. Your 18 is Esteban Ocon. 17, former teammate Pierre Gastly. P16, Jacques, how are you doing? 15, our favorite French boy, Isaac Hajar. Sorry, Pierre. And Esteban. P14, Bortoletto. P13 is Carlos, which I misspelled somehow. P12, Oliver. The Bearman, waking up, trying to get much better than his start. Although, like I said he had a poor start in practices last week, but still one of the only rookies to finish the race. P11, true rookie Fernando Alonso. And then your top 10, Lance Stroll. Why are you here? Alex Albon, P9, with an asterisk, because we thought he might have a little bit of issues. P8, Yuki, let's go. P7, Kimi. P6, Lando. Kind of just said he had some damage, but just didn't put the laps together there. P5, Georgie Russell. P4, Charles Chuck Leclerc. P3, Oscar Piastri. P2, Max Verstappen, continuing to be Max. And P1, his first pole-ish asterisk with the Ferraris, Lewis Hamilton. I also have a mark for Carlo. Oh, that's from... The asterisks are from the possible disqualification from the cameras.
Gotcha.
So that is all I had noted for that. Of course, Liam continuing to... Yeah. Hey, Checo, what you doing? Because expectations were low, but holy fuck.
Let's see who this really is. Pulls off mask. Checo.
No, Checo was better than this.
Yeah.
Pulls off Nikita Mazepin. But yes, of course. And then you have these, obviously the starting grid for the sprint, all basically the same except for
a swap. Nico and I think Liam. I think Nico qualified P19, right? Or did he qualify P18?
He's qualified P19 because Liam
Logan
was dead last.
Yeah.
Hopefully he won't do that again.
So Nico has to make some car swap shenaniganry. I didn't write it down, did I? No, I did not. Well, he had to do some car swap shenaniganry and starts from the pits in P20. I think it was suspension again.
Yep.
Okay. So he starts P20 from the pits.
All our pit starts were just changing the setup.
Fair enough.
Setups.
And then that bumps Liam up to P19. Woo.
Anyway. And then our first lap, 19 races around Shanghai. Made it through the formation lap.
Woo!
Progress.
Oh, I forgot to write something down, so we're good though.
First lap, bad news for all you Lando Norris fans. Lando, unfortunately, having a major misstep, loses two spots off the start in that 1-2-3 turn complex, and he does not get them back over this race. Even though the McLaren definitely were heavy favored, and Oscar did a little better than that as well. Of course, your standard kind of things. Standard racing, basically, pretty much. You get to turn 4. Hey, Liam, what you doing, bud? Oh, you forgot your name. Was it George Russell? He goes to overtake Jack. Jack, how are you doing? And does overtake him while also putting his tire not through his side pod. There was not damage, but tried to basically put a tire through the side pod. They did look into this, and they decided that was perfectly fine racing. That's fine. I'm sure Liam won't hit somebody again overtaking in 6 laps. Past that, and this might be foreshadowing for something for the GP, both Aston Martins reporting problems. Lance Stroll reporting some issues with the brakes. And then just some general power issues from Fernando Alonso. Hopefully it all works out for the race and everybody does super well. And let's just go ahead and shoot off that Chekhov's gun. Lap 10. Liam, of course, goes to overtake a fellow rookie, but not rookie. Well, Liam's not the rookie. Gabriel Bortoletto said it again. Fuck. And also hits him again. And they actually don't do anything on this one either. They don't even look at it. Must be nice getting away with shit. Anyway, but during all this, Hajar managed to pull off a little double take in kind of all this screwing around action. So that's 2 places for another rookie. And God, the sprint seems so just. It wasn't boring, the sprint, but I guess, event-wise, am I skipping everything so far on your side?
I'll be honest with you, I don't really have very many, if any, notes for the sprint because I did not watch it live.
Sure.
All I did was watch the highlights, so. I was at work the time that it happened, so.
Fair enough. P12, bad news for you, you Williams fan, you. Carlos Sainz has just drops down the order. He actually takes a pit stop and does not retire the car in the sprint, which is odd. Just throws on some new mediums, does return, actually does manage to catch up to the back of the pack. But not. He will go on to finish in, actually, P17. He loses 4 spots over the sprint race. Anyway, Oscar is ahead by a couple light years until we get to the end of the race. Of course, your top 3. I said Oscar was ahead. Sorry, Lewis is ahead, like 600 light years. Your top 3, Lewis, Oscar, and Max, they cross the line, and then the back of the grid, Jack and both Saubers have some collision. Jack basically wants another contact hit for Bortoletto. As well as Nico, arriving a little later on the scene, manages to also hit Jack, basically square on the side of his end plate. That is noted, is investigated, and does result in a 10-second penalty for Jack Doohan and 2 penalty points.
10-second penalty for Jack Doohan.
Welcome back, Swanocon. In an Alpine. So, your final for the first sprint of the season. Jack with that 10-second penalty. He drops 4 spots. I guess I'm doing the rundown, so I'm actually going to do it the way I did it this way. But yes, I'll just go over your big movers. Pierre Gastly, P12, he got 5 spots. Hulkenberg, +1, because he started in the pit. So, good job for you. Yuki Tsunoda, my boy, +2. Lance Stroll got 1. I bring that up for Lando, of course, bottling it in lap 1. Lando things. He didn't start on pole, though, so interesting. -2 for him. Alex, -2, unfortunately. I thought your biggest mover, or your second biggest mover, was, unfortunately, Liam Lawson, also with 5. I'm not giving him the credit, though.
I have +6.
+6?
I could have my math wrong, but I have +6. Was 14 started... because I had him starting from... Well, I had him starting from P20, but maybe I compared that with the thing on F1.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I wrote mine down from Multiviewer, so...
So, let me just change my bullshit on the fly. Hey, just so y'all know, we're amateurs. Both of us are kind of dumb sometimes.
There is a collective brain cell, and it's at any given point just not with either of us. It's just in the air.
It's
trying to find
if you
life.
Understand science, right? It is an electron that is just bouncing back and forth between us. And sometimes springing off to one of the cats.
Yes.
Never the dog.
No. The dog is asleep. He doesn't need her right All right. So, of course, no more practices. Some within. Parc Ferme is now over. There is no changes made under Parc Ferme. And during the sprint, that was allowed, just the suspension change, which was not allowed. Anyway, those come out, do some adjustments, of course. A lot of people allegedly treated the sprint as just a practice session.
I mean, yeah. Don't blame them.
Yeah, because, of course, only your top 8 get points in that, of course. So, Lando being the first points position with 1 point. And, of course, Lewis getting a full 8 points. Congratulations, you passed staking it.
Woo!
Forza Ferrari. There's your high, because it's about to get real low.
You ride that high all the way to Japan next weekend, because it's the last one you're getting until then.
All right. Regular qualifying. Jack, once again, a little bit of a moment. Jack, buddy, please. Please.
Please.
I mean, I don't dislike Colapinto. I feel like he came in and did a good job, but fuck Brabador Fabio. I just combined his name. And Jack deserves a legitimate chance, I guess, but I guess there's still 4 races and doesn't confirm, and it doesn't work out. I guess it's sad face. Again, I feel like I'm leading way too much and just going over anything you have.
No, you're good. You took the entire sprint section because, again, I didn't watch the sprint. I just watched the highlights.
Fair enough. You're qualifying again. Like I said, Jack had a moment. I got your results. Once again, I have nothing. I guess is it a good thing that the exciting parts of the qualifying is just the timings and we're not having crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's always a good thing.
Your bottom 20 is Liam Lawson. Hey, you're here again. Gabriel Bortoletto, Jack Doohan, Oliver Behrman, and Pierre Gastly is your bottom 5. So your rookies and Pierre, Alpine, shows a promise at the end of the season there. Next after that is, unfortunately, again for you Williams fans over on that side of the couch, Carlos Sainz in P15, Lance Stroll, P14, Fernando Alonso, P13, Nico, P12, and Esteban rounding out at that P11.
Pretty decent drive for Haas.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Could definitely be worse. Could be P19, P20. Flashbacks to 21 and 22.
Yeah, maybe it was Gunther.
Maybe it was.
And the drivers. Maybe it was Mick. Maybe it was Maybe it was the Russian.
Definitely the Russian.
And then starting your top 10. Oh, you want to say P10?
Alex Albon!
Ooh, another top 10 for Williams.
Fuck yeah.
At least starting P9, a disappointing result for Yuki at this point, seeing so far. P8, the Mercedes rookie, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. RB's.
I do want to note, last week, everything for Kimi had his full, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. This week, everything was just Kimi Antonelli.
Really?
On the graphics on screen, on the official F1 website, everything was just Kimi Antonelli. So I don't know if he told them, hey, I'd prefer if y'all just gave me Kimi Antonelli or what they did, but...
See, I always wondered if he chose Kimi or it was like, oh, it's another Kimi. It's fun.
Yeah. I was like, seems to be going with the whole just Kimi. So yep. I'm cool with that.
So Kimi Antonelli in P8. Again, RB's rookie. Isaac Hadjar up to P7. Charles Leclerc P6. Lewis Hamilton P5. Kind of that what we saw in the sprint, kind of disappearing for Ferrari there. I wonder if they adjusted the ride height or something. Max Verstappen drops a little bit in his thing to P4. Lando, again, having a little bit of issues with his quality runs. Still P3 because McLaren. George coming in with T-posing the two McLarens away in P2. And in his first Grand Prix pole position, finally, should have happened last week. Fuck you, Lando. Oscar Piastri.
Woo!
Finally, he got a tire. Ooh.
Yippee.
It was signed by somebody nobody knows. It was outside of the Chinese province. But, yep. And then you're starting pretty much like that, except Lawson is now, instead of starting P20, starting from the pit, which he took a lap, which I did not look up like I wanted to.
Shame.
If pit lane starts still take the formation lap, because I'm fairly certain they didn't, but Liam definitely did. So
He definitely
he
did
did
take
get
that formation lap,
disqualified, so I guess that's fine.
I guess it is. That would be something that we'll have to look up between now and then and just notate for Japan. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll get notification by then. Anyways.
And as we get to it, it's racing time.
Let's go! Fucking Mario Kart fucking intro to a track. do.
The helicopter shot that we...
Oh my god. That is the best. So I notated that the best camera shot of the week. So the easiest way I wrote down is just the first time that I actually saw it, which was in Q1. There was 340 left about in Q1. There is a helo shot. They used it multiple times throughout the week, but it's a helo shot that starts through the grass and goes down the main straight. And then as they're coming down the straight, they rise up above it and just zoom out and bring them through the last few corners. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yes, I'll broadcast. I mean, I followed a couple things. It's like, oh, Ferrari's racing, and oh, something from 3 laps ago. There's a lot of stuff. They always had picture-in-picture was immediate anytime they had a replay. Broadcast has been doing incredibly well, way better than their start of the season, and just I think of like overall improvement in general. So
very happy, very impressed.
Speaking of the Ferraris, let's get into it. Lights out and copywritten phrase, so we'll just go from there. First thing is Ferrari. Well, this is a Ferrari. This is going to be a Ferrari heavy race when it comes to the beginning and the end here. What is that? I didn't actually delineate which turn that happened in. It was 2-3, right?
It would have had to have been 2-3 because they were making the switch back to the other direction.
Of course, Lewis and Charles starting next to each other, brand new teammates, second full race as teammates of the oldest team in F1, or the well-known small team in F1, whatever they say it all the time this weekend. And they touch Martin.
They touched.
Nico Rosberg just had a chill down his spine. It's happened again. But yeah, just, trying to fight for the position and not nailing the apex. Wink. It's another podcast that makes more viewers than we. I don't know why we're referencing it. And yeah, Lewis has some contact with Charles' front left. Yeah, front left.
Yes, his
plate.
front left in plate,
and it's gone.
It's just gone.
And George, God, man, Lewis was like, "Hey, someone hit me." It's like you hit your teammate. But yes. Nothing, I didn't hear anything about damage to Lewis's car, of course. The end plate was hanging on for a little bit, and then it suddenly wasn't, so it's somewhere out there. Maybe it's ended up...
They did find it.
Oh.
It was whenever they did the weighing of all the cars and doing all that stuff, it was noted that was weighed with his car, so...
Okay. Oh, so that wasn't...
that was not the issue. Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers, the lead we're bearing, even though it's one, the episode, the name of the podcast, and two, probably reference and title, and the reason you're probably watching this, or listening to this. Can you tell we started on YouTube? Yeah, I was going to say, maybe, did it end up in Yuki's fucking front wing? Or Fernando's brake? Anyway.
What do you think they recovered it from?
Yeah. Turn further little into lap 1. Little moment for Bortoletto. Turn 8.
Turn 8.
Took us 4 laps to figure out what happened. Just a spin in some gravel, gets back on track. Does cost him a decent amount of time. Basically, does take him out of the race, at least, or pretty much guaranteeing the backpack for the entirety of the race.
Yep.
But that, yeah. Snooze fest of a race-ish. I didn't think it was necessarily...
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 large chunks in the middle of the race that I just don't have anything wrote down for because nothing happened during those segments.
Yes.
Which is fine. I mean, that's okay, I guess. It's not like every race has to be fucking Abu Dhabi 2021.
Yeah, or yeah. Sometimes it's just Monza or Monza. God,
Monaco?
Monaco.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Monza's great.
Monza's fantastic.
Lap 4, Pierre Gastly reports that Alonso might have a brake fire. Couple laps, I guess the next lap he does indeed have brake issues, does retire the car. So that's the end of the 2 for 2 on DNFs for Fernando Alonso this season on the Grand Prix.
Nope, you're good. I'm just making sure that I noted that. I think I did.
Yep. And just to skip forward a little bit, he will be the only DNF, however, not last place. Even though he is definitely last place here. Yeah. I just literally had the word snooze fest typed out over laps 7 through, wrote up the 7 through 16. And then I circled it and it kind of looked like a dick, so I went in and put dick and balls on there. Because that's how boring it was, actually. It was kind of, it wasn't like the most boring race. It just wasn't, it was, as we talked about a lot in hockey this season, low event racing.
I mean, fair enough, but there was definitely a segment in there, somewhere between 7 and 9, where Alex Albon's engineer comes across and is like trying to give him like talk and consideration about the tires and whatnot, and Alex comes across and is like, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm great, I'm better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you've got this, I guess.
I mean, we'll see in the final standings, or not the final, the race classification. Yeah, I was like, and then there, and somewhere else in there also, Yuki's like, I want to use more medium or more tire,
More front end.
or front end. We're good. No, I want to. Okay. Like, all right, good conversation.
This Grand Prix was a sass fest.
Yeah, everybody basically, and maybe Yuki should have put a little less trust in that pit wall this week and last week and for his entire career. But yeah, there's a lot of, seemed like Ferrari's definitely like, no, we're making our calls. Williams, no. And Alex, no, I'm just gonna do this. I was like, I've proven I can do this. Like, I can make anything in one stop. I'm Alex Albon. Ferrari is like, no, we're doing this. Lando and Oscar are like, no, we're good. We got this. Like, very much just like, especially in a time management race, strategy is important. But yeah. So a lot of like just racers doing their thing and pit walls hopefully doing their thing properly, but leaving them to it.
There's also definitely a moment where Charles's engineer came across and was like, try using less curb. Or try using less curb. And Charles went,
no.
Nope.
Just nope. No debate. No sugarcoat. Just
I think
nope.
Someone on Reddit had said that he had previously said during that race, like, just keep telling me, like, keep giving me info until I'm sick of it. And so I think that was basically just to like, we're gonna discard that piece of info.
Yeah. I think it was Lewis was like, hey, I need feedback, please. But yep, I think the next thing of reference is your excitement. So I was like, my next note is lap 46. So
I mean, I've got some stuff in between there. So P14, P15, everyone's starting to make their pit stops, and I'm starting to look at everything and it's like, Alex is talking about how the tire is gonna keep going. I don't think he's coming in right now. P16, your first through about 5th, 6th, 7th, etc. drivers, whatever, have come in to make their stops. And who is sitting in P1 but Alex Albon? Alex Albon leads an entire lap of the race, and I am so happy. And it is the one singular pinpoint of happiness that I will probably have all year. It is the one time where I will see Alex Albon in the lead. And just like that, he's overtaken by Oscar Piastri. And everything is right in the world.
And make sure has healed.
But
it was the first lap Williams in quite a bit of time. I saw the stat. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah. I did look at the actual graph on the Wikipedia page, and they didn't use orange for some reason, because that would make sense. But they did green for Oscar and for Lando, because I forgot that Lando also, I guess, overtook for a couple laps. And so it was a very light green, and then 2 patches of dark green, a single patch of blue, and then back to the light green for the rest of the race.
Yeah, McLaren definitely did regain their dominant form after the sprint. We said Lando is going to set it up here. This is where Lando's starting to get a little bit of something's a little wrong with the braking on his car. So, but
yeah, oof, yikes, gasp. I think you said your next thing was like lap 40 something. So we'll maintain with my stuff for now. Around lap 27 to 29, I started doing some math because I think Albon had just pit around that time. No, he pit on lap 20. I remember specifically because everyone else pit around lap 14 on average. I did the math. I specifically did the X is Y% of Z math and figured out that Albon could one-stop the race. Because of course he could. It's Alex Albon. Of course he's going to try to one-stop the race. And I think he did. If I do remember correctly.
Lots of people one-stopped the race. It was probably the right call to make.
Yeah, it really was. But, some people want to ruin their driver's chances. Anyways, we had that going on around lap... I didn't get an exact timer on this. So sometime between lap 30 and lap 34, there's the first mention of rain possible in the forecast. Up to Class 1. Just
towards the end, I believe the first call was last 3 laps of the race.
Last 3 laps of the race, which would be fantastic. That would be a show. It looks like that. Yeah. No, it does not look like that. That is class like 4.
That is hail.
That is hail on the ground. Sorry, we're pulling up. We currently have Ryan Hall, y'all, up on TV because we like weather. And there's some weather going on with where some family is, so I'm just trying to keep tabs on that.
So there's our unsponsored sponsorship is Ryan Hall, y'all. If you guys live in the severe weather areas of the United States, I would watch him. Even if you don't, it's fun to watch and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does great things. He has a fucking 501c to help out victims of storms and whatnot. Fucking go check him out, bruh.
So,
bruh.
This section not brought to you by, but promoting Ryan Hall, y'all. Yes, very good. Rain. Anyway, the reference was they were showing some heavy, like it looked kind of snowy. There's a large amount of hail on the ground somewhere in Mississippi, so or Tennessee or Alabama or Louisiana, something in that general area,
somewhere in there. Anyways, lap 37, back on track a little bit. Actually back off of track. Stroll finally pits, which I think was maybe the last person to pit, either the last or the next to last person to pit.
Of a planned or scheduled stop, he was the last. However,
gotcha. But insane that he took the first stint of tires all the way to lap 37. Wow, Lance fucking Stroll. Of all people. Who's after that? I don't have anything until 46, so...
Well, in there, Yuki Tsunoda does pit for another set of tires and sets him... He was behind Lance Stroll, and obviously part of strategy of pitting is to, of course, get out of dirty air if you can't pass somebody. But, obviously, Lance still had to pit at some point. Anyway, they pit... I don't have what actual lap it was. They pit him for another thing to stop, another pair of hards. Not the best stop, but not a horrible stop. Upper 2 point seconds, I believe, if I recall correctly. And now he is all the way down in like P15, P16, P14, somewhere in that range. So, and this is, we're getting more and more to the, oh, hey, this is a one stop. Like, everybody can probably make these last.
No, Yuki, we think this is the right call.
And then lap 47. Hey, Jack and Isaac. No. We'll get to the actual chronological order. I have never seen this. I mean, I've been watching F1 for, 4 or 5 years? 4 years?
Somewhere in there.
5 years? I think I watched something in 2021 and then really started in 2022. Maybe a little bit.
You probably saw Abu Dhabi and was like, wow.
No, I know I definitely... that was one of my first... I think I watched Coda was the first race of 2021, and then I watched Abu because I was like, oh, it's the last thing. And oh, hey, what's this Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen thing? Yuki suddenly has wing damage. He has catastrophic wing damage. And they finally show it. Like, I mean, we see it and they're like, wait, it's like not...
It's not the front.
It's not the front.
When
It's
you
the
hit
upper...
something, it will break the front first, because while the front is lower, it's still high enough that it's going to hit something if it hits.
Yeah.
It's just broken like a couple of prongs
second,
up.
third, and fourth of the elements. Like 2, 3, 4 is just gone, like broken and almost basically gone. It's still kind of there.
It basically looks like a canard that you would see on like a jet fighter. It's just like fucking trying to slow it down.
Yeah, it was essentially an air brake, which that's what we need. Good job. And we finally get the replay, and it just breaks. He makes contact with at least nothing in front of him, beside him, behind him, maybe something under the car, maybe a piece of fucking Fernando's brake disc is somewhere, or Charles Leclerc end plate, or something. Tear off, shouldn't do that damage, but who knows? Tear offs are menace apparently. But yeah, that fucker just spark gone. So he has to now pit again. They put him on mediums, new wing, of course, slow pit stop.
Extra slow because it's done in a way that they have to go in there and manually do it.
Yep. So his race is done.
He's done.
In a position he probably shouldn't have been in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Would the wing have held on?
Who knows?
We don't know. Maybe he was pushing it harder than he had to because he had to retake the field. That's my theory. Could have just been a bad part. Could have been some random piece of debris. I haven't heard anything else. All we know is what we saw, which was just failure. So, God damn it. So, do I want to get to the rant while we're still talking about the race? It's pertinent.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Is this what it's like to be a Ferrari fan? To have decent drivers, a decent car, surprisingly, and then have the clown-ass pit wall just pull the most brain-dead shit.
Would you like an actual answer, or is
Yes.
that... Okay, yes.
Okay.
That is exactly what it feels like. It fucking sucks.
Like, I'm like, I guess I'm photoshopping the fucking RB pit wall with clowns, like the Ferrari
Like normally
one.
the Ferrari one.
And then I thought it would be funnier if I just took all the reds, shifted it to blue, and just like shitty JPEG'd the
RB logo.
Yeah. But I saw one on Troll that was they just took the old Toro Rosso pit wall and did it. So I was like, oh, I'm sure it existed already. Oh, I'm so angry. This is, speaking of 2 for 2, another 2 for 2 in a Grand Prix, which is RB fucking Yuki over. Thoroughly. Bent over, nothing, just get fucked Yuki.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I have no words other than fuck.
I mean, that's how Yuki would be as well.
Just like what? I
One
did not
word. Fuck.
I did not watch his post-race interview. I probably should have done that, but that is frustrating, and I get it, Ferrari. Yeah. Also during that time, more Jack. Man, Jack and Isaac were going at it towards the end of that race. Unfortunately, once again, did I write down what this was? Okay, it was forcing.
Yep.
Jack gets another 10-second penalty for forcing Isaac Hadjar off the track. And then Isaac, of course, so 10-second penalty. Isaac is still on him, but he just kept racing him. He got ahead of him. Jack managed to get ahead right at the very end again. Just like, Isaac, careful. You beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your wing is also about to explode, which I guess is a possibility. Just chill. You're gonna get this fucking P11. But yeah. And that's all I have for the actual race.
Yeah, that's the end of my notes other than the lap 53 multi-viewer crash.
And of course,
course.
what we're going to... Yeah. Multiviewer did crash on us. I don't blame Multiviewer. They are good. People do great work. Fuck you, F1, and your new premium shit.
Yeah, fuck y'all. But multi-viewer, y'all are great. Keep it up.
Multiviewer 21. I do have that note, but that's a little later. So, your race is over. Oscar, he won.
He won!
It was a dominant Oscar.
You said that in an Oscar way. Just Oscar, Oscar won.
I'm Oscar, I won. Yeah. Norris nursing his break. Oh, yeah. We kind of grazed over that.
Yeah.
Progressively through it. I set it up, and I set the gun down, and I forgot about it.
Okay, what's this?
Oscar's break continually to just degrade and getting longer and longer, and basically at the end, he didn't have brakes.
Yeah.
So managed to nurse that car to a P2 finish. Yeah. Ferrari 1-2.
Finished about 2 seconds ahead of George Russell. He was like several seconds. He was like 10.
Yeah. I was too lazy to write down time, so. But yes. Yeah. Finish up. Everybody kind of, goes to the thing. I realized what was I probably should have wrote down the actual finals. I know I didn't because I was waiting, but.
What finals?
The final class.
Oh, no, I always write everything down before, or I write everything down after the final classification. So I think that's what we're going to have to start doing now. You write it down at the end. I write it down on final class.
Yeah. All right. So, I do have the spots. So let's get to it. You're here. We're here. Let's talk about it.
Hi, guys.
A triple disqualification.
Holy fuck.
And a couple of familiar faces. For some familiar reasons. Our DSQs. Hey, that's the name of the podcast. Is Charles, Chuck, Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and Pierre Gastly. The Ferraris, and hey, Pierre's here too. Damn. Someone put Matt on watch.
Yeah, no kidding. Charles, his teammate, and his best friend.
Yeah. Oh, man. You have the technical information on it. I'll just go over kind of the real quick. Charles and Gastly, they get their DSQs from Plankware. Not the first time, of course. It was not last year, right? It was 2 years ago. That, yes, I believe.
One more time?
For the Coda DSQ.
Sorry, but who?
For Charles.
Nope. Charles and Gastly are the weight, and
correct,
Lewis is the plank.
Sorry. I have good. W, so I was like, where, not weight.
Weight.
But I have PLK from plank, so. Anyway, your weight disqualifications. Charles Leclerc off by...
I don't have the number, but I think it was by 1 kilogram.
1 kilogram. 2.2 pounds for us Freedom Unit people. Go grab a bag of rice. That's what cost Charles Leclerc this race. This is a small bag of minute rice. I did look up, hey, what is this? About 2 pounds. 1/5 of Ludo.
Insane.
I did not get Gastly's, but also underweight. And then here's a similarity to Coda 2 years ago. Lewis Hamilton with the Plankware disqualification. Like I said, you definitely have the technical side of that. So
yes, so it's Boring Blake here. Hi, let me grab my glasses. So the Leclerc and Gastly weight regs. So it's very little, and the wording on the actual documents, which I sent to you so that I'd have them ready, and I did not pull that up, but I have them ready right about... Nope, there we go. Now, okay, so for the disqualifications due to weight. So after the race, car 16 was weighed. Weight was 800 kilograms even, which is the minimum weight required by Technical Regs Article 4.1. As the front wing was damaged, the missing front wing end plate was recovered and weighed with the car. Car was re-weighed with an official spare front wing assembly of car 16. Its weight was 800.5 kilograms. After this, fuel was drained out of the car and 2.0 liters of fuel were removed. Car was drained according to draining procedures submitted by the team. Placed on the scales. Weight was 799 kilograms even. For information, spare front wing was 2 kilograms heavier than the damaged one used during the race. And then for...
So in plate is about 4.5 pounds.
I didn't save Gastly's. Oh, well. But yeah, either way. So both of them talk about draining the fuel and whatnot. And that seems like, well, why would you do that? Well, specifically, Article 4.1 of the Formula One Technical Regulations for 2025, 10 years ago. No, 2025, the mass of the car without fuel must not be less than 800 kilograms plus the heat hazard mass increase should it be needed. So haven't come across that yet, but will at some point. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton. So the rearmost skid, so the back part of the skid, was measured according to the team's legality document submission, blah, 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 blah. 3 points of it were taken along the, it gives periphery, it's the edge of the fucking holes, and I'll get to that here in a second. Recorded measurements were 8.6 millimeters on the left-hand side, 8.6 millimeters on the center line, and 8.5 millimeters on the right-hand side. So, the Technical Regulation Article 3.5.9, Section E, the thickness of the plank assembly measured normal to the lower surface must be 10 millimeters, give or take 0.2 millimeters, and must be uniform when new. A minimum thickness of 9 millimeters will be accepted due to wear, and conformity to this provision will be checked at the peripheries of the designated holes where they're attached. I've drawn a diagram. Michael, I have a diagram. You can include this as like a thing on screen if you feel like doing editing. If not, oh well, you guys can figure it out. Or you can go watch the excellent video from the F1 TV Tech Talk video from 2023, the last time that this happened with Lewis Hamilton. Has Laura Winters and Albert Fabrega. They talk about planks. It's 9 minutes, super informative. Yeah.
It'll probably be in the description of both. If you're watching this on YouTube, it might be in the annotations, or just in the description in your favorite podcast player.
But basically, plank runs like the entire length of the bottom of the car from like the very back to the like. There's like a weird little like almost rounded front bit. They call it the bib, but it's a little rounded front bit. There's a hole in the front part of that. There's 2 holes in about the midpoint, and then there's a hole in the very back. So what they're talking about is the hole in the very back. The way they measure it is they will take a measuring device and do it around the edges of the holes that it's attached to. And on there, it was 8.6 on one side of that hole, 8.6 in the middle of the hole, and 8.5 on the right side of the hole. So definitely... Definitely under by just fractions of millimeters, which is insane when you think about it, but that is in the regulations for a reason. So...
Which I guess I could probably grab a little tape measure that's over there, but in Freedom units, it's small.
Yeah, it is.
We
tiny.
don't really have, unless you micron nerds out there.
Once you go into the customary measurements, it's like fractions of inches. Yep. It's fractions of inches. You're probably thinking like a 32nd of an inch, maybe a 64th.
Maybe less than that for a millimeter, but. I mean, I don't know what's smaller than a millimeter. Decimeter?
No, decimeter's larger.
Yeah, I guess. Not that we ever use decimeters. We use decibels, but all right. In the cooldown room, one little thing which we referenced about 30 seconds before they referenced it. Multi-21 Seb.
Multi-21,
which of course is there was not a whole bunch of team orders. I mean, the big team orders with I guess Ferrari was kind of the thing. Which they have been very, very adamant about that. The way that it was the broadcast was not accurate. That Lewis was actually the one to suggest they swap places.
to my own horn real quick. 0.4 millimeters, which is how much it was off. That is 1/64th of an inch.
All right. Very nice. So, yeah, the team orders of Ferrari getting a lot of issues, but maybe not necessarily as much as it should. But yes. McLaren kind of had a team order, but not really. It's just like, yeah, if it gets done later. You're managing your brake. Like, don't blow up your brake. That's your fucking problem there, Lando. But, of course, Oscar Piastri's manager, Mark Webber, of Multi-21 Seb fame. So, of course, it got mentioned. I don't know. I didn't catch who said it. I assume Lando, given from what I remember the voice sounding like. But I don't know who said it. But someone in the cool down room said it.
That's really funny, though.
Yeah, it was very funny, especially right after I said it.
Yeah.
We have a thing to follow because we're professional. What's the rundown?
The rundown.
Unless you have anything else for the actual race.
Trophies
were whatever.
I
no
mean,
Ben. Woo.
Yeah, no. Everything else I have is stats and yappy
Also,
stuff.
wasn't paying attention. Didn't realize Ferrari wasn't the official champagne until today.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed out a bunch of the sponsors for the official stuff, so very different. Rundown. You want the sprint one? I know you kind of went over that kind of loosely, but I can give you the sprint one as well.
No, the official.
Just the official Grand Prix one.
Oh, no, sorry. I meant, you can do the official sprint results.
Official sprint results. Okay. Your official sprint rundown for the China sprint is Lewis Hamilton started first, finished first, which seems to be the running theme this week. Started first, finished first with a time of 30 minutes, 39.965 seconds. Gains 8 points and gained or lost no places. Oscar Piastri finishes right behind him in second, gaining 1 spot. Max Verstappen loses a spot to finish P3rd. George Russell gained a spot to finish P4th, and Charles Leclerc lost a spot to finish P5. Top 5 just didn't leave from the top 5. Yep. Yuki Tsunoda in P6 gained 2 spots to be there. Kimi Antonelli stayed right where he was to finish P7. Lando Norris loses 2 spots to finish P8 and finish off the point scores for the sprint. After him is Lance Stroll gaining a spot to finish P9. Fernando Alonso to gain a spot to finish P10. Alex Albon loses 2 spots to finish P11. Pierre Gasly gains 5 spots to finish P12. Isaac Hadjar gaining 2 to finish P13. Liam Lawson gaining 5 spots to finish P14. Oliver Behrman losing 3 to finish P15. Esteban Ocon gaining 2 to finish P16. Carlos Sainz losing 4 to finish P17. Gabriel Bortoleto losing 4, finishing P18. Nico Hülkenberg staying right where he was at P19. And Jack Doohan losing 4 to finish P20. 70 seconds behind Lewis.
I do have it as Hülkenberg as +1 because he technically started from the pit, which would be P21.
I think it was because I didn't adjust that correctly, so you are correct.
Pit lane start. I don't know how that classifies. So
He
cannot go till already passes, basically. So
either way, for your Grand Prix for China, first place Oscar Piastri started first, finished first with a time of 1 hour 30 minutes 55.026 seconds. Lando Norris right behind him, gaining 1 spot to finish P2. And George Russell losing a spot to finish P3 and rounding out the podium. Max Verstappen finishing P4, right where he started. Esteban Ocon finishing P5, gaining 6 spots to do so. Kimi Antonelli gaining 2 spots to finish P6. Alex Albon gaining 3 spots to finish P7. Oliver Behrman gaining 9 spots to finish P8. Lance Stroll gaining 5 spots to finish P9. And Carlos Sainz also taking advantage of the aforementioned DSQs to finish P10 and gain his first point of the season. P11 is going to be Isaac Hadjar, who lost 4 spots to be right where he is. Liam Lawson gains 8 spots to finish P12, so very heavy on the gains this week, but also, why are we there in the first place, Liam? We're going to give him so much shit this year. I promise we're not bullying him, but also we're kind of bullying him.
Bullying implies it's not warranted. This is warranted. talk shit, get hit.
Jack Doohan gains 5 spots to finish P13. The next 3 are 1 lap down. Gabriel Bortoleto finishes P14, having gained 5 spots. Nico Hulkenberg loses 3 spots to finish P15. Yuki Tsunoda loses 7 spots to finish P16. Fernando Alonso, I will place him in 17, but he did not finish due to his brakes, losing 4 spots from his start. The remaining 3, I am not notating these anymore for like compared to where they start because they DSQ'd. They technically didn't race. So Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and Pierre Gastly all DSQ'd due to weight, plank wear, and weight respectively.
If they were to be classified as losing spots, though, it would be 12, losing 12 for Leclerc, 14 for Lewis, and 4 for Gastly. I did the work.
Fair enough.
So your fastest lap is Oh, wait.
No. The fastest lap was Lando Norris with a 1:35. I have to look closer because I scribbled this part out. 4:54 on lap 53.
If the DSQ did not happen, was Lewis Hamilton with a 139.069.
Nice. Your driver of the day.
Oops.
Yeah. I voted for Oliver Behrman.
I
Dakota didn't vote.
I didn't vote. I was too fuming. I forgot.
He was mad.
Well, I also had to stop and reset multiviewer.
This is true.
I think that distracted me.
Your winner was Kimi Antonelli at
Somehow
20.7. Yeah.
It's out of the. I was like,
okay, sure, whatever.
I went back and looked at the results too. I'm like, 0 on the sprint, 2 on the race. I mean, sure.
Okay.
He didn't crash.
I guess. Yeah, he didn't crash. Best of the rookies so far. So yeah, Kimi Antonelli with a 20.7% of the vote. The rest of your votes, which I forgot to do last week, but we're gonna gloss over that.
First race.
Yeah, first race. We're just like F1. We're trying to get back into the swing of things. Oscar Piastri got 15.6% of the vote. Ollie Behrman got 12.9%. Charles got 8.4%. Max got 6.5%. All others had a combined 35.9%. Your pit stops, fastest pit belongs to not Yuki Tsunoda.
No.
Belongs to
This is a
Ferrari.
really.
With Charles Leclerc on lap 15 with a 2.05. Just beat out the Yuki one because Yuki's was 2.08. Meanwhile, on the slow side of things,
Yuki Tsunoda.
I don't count the wing changes, though. I discard those as the slower ones that don't count. McLaren with Oscar Piastri. So lap 14 with a 3.83. But I do notate them. Racing Bulls with Tsunoda on lap 46, a 17.69.
Yep. Not nice.
Not
but
nice. And that was due to a wing replacement. All my yappy stuff is like funny haha yappies and not like I don't know, fuck it. We can do yaps as actual yaps rather than the fucking like I can put these in the actual yaps section that we have dedicated to it rather than precursor it to the stars. So, do I have any other stats? I don't think I have any other stats.
Nope.
No.
It's not normal. Still, I got our normal go-throughs.
Yeah.
All right. Your 3 stars of the weekend. And that's the important designation here. And that's why I thought the driver of the day is so weird. It's still just the GP day, driver of the day.
Yeah.
So a reminder, our stars encompass the weekend on a sprint weekend. So we do treat the sprint, or at least I always count the sprint in these.
Correct.
So I'll start off because it's fun. My 3rd star of the weekend is Lance Stroll. Because I couldn't not. Because let's look at Lance. In the sprint, he got a spot.
That's a spot.
It's not a point, but it's Lance Stroll.
Top 10 finish.
He didn't crash.
You can crash, yeah. Heck yeah.
His qualifying was okay-ish. I mean, he didn't crash. Not so much better in the qualifying, but he finished P9 in the race.
Mm-hmm. That he did.
That's 5 spots.
That's
I can't not. I
5
feel
spots.
like I just could not give him some credit for this. Yeah, the brain swap theory that that's why Fernando's getting worse is they're taking the DNA from
Oh
Fernando's
my
brain
God.
and injecting it into Lance. So
We gotta backtrack and figure out exactly when it started.
Yeah. So surprisingly, Lance Stroll, you were the third star of the weekend for me.
My number 3 star. It's always weird putting Lance in a star spot, but he arguably had a decent weekend.
Yeah.
And he's had a decent start to the season. P6 in the Australian Grand Prix, and now P9 in the Sprint and the Grand Prix this year with, I think I forgot the word Chinese, the Chinese Sprint and Grand Prix this year with a genuinely surprising first stint in the Grand Prix, going 36 laps on hards to cap off his first stop, or his one stop, excuse me. Good job, Lance. Yeah,
Yeah. So he has a bad taste in your mouth, you know?
it does.
So does this one. My second star is Esteban Ocon. I debated giving it to Haas in general, but Ollie did not have the better sprint. Like I said, on the sprint, Esteban did get up 2 spots on there, and 6 spots in the sprint. I mean, a P5 is a pretty decent finish for a Haas.
Okay.
Pretty decent finish for anybody. So yeah, I would give it to Ollie because Ollie did make up 9 in the sprint, but he did lose a couple in the 9 in the race.
Yeah.
Did lose a couple in the sprint. He did say ciao, so
Ciao. That was fucking phenomenal.
which may or may not. It's right now leading for the episode title, but it probably will be the episode title. So ciao.
Ciao.
But yeah, Esteban. Who there's 2 people I was not rooting for that I've got my stars this week so far.
Well, likewise.
Did we copy?
No, we didn't.
Piece for piece.
We did not. My number 2 star, bit of an odd one, but not really, but sort of. George Russell. George so far is the ever-present ominous threat. He finished 3rd in the Australia Grand Prix and here, and 4th in the sprint here. It's not very likely, but there is a small chance that if everyone else that's a series drivers champion challenger faffs about all season and like bounces between first place, 5th place, 7th place, 2nd place, first place again, he could win by consistently being 3rd.
Mr. Consistency. That's what he was.
That's what he was. Anyways, +1, -1 in the sprint and GP respectively. Hats off to George.
He is that horror gaming clip of just the T-posing character. Also. Like, it's just always there.
Is, yeah.
Objects in mirror closer than they appear. And that's both literally when you're in turn 1 and then just in the stands. Speaking of turn 1, number 1 star, that's a smooth transition. Is just for his first pole, his first win, and just a dominant performance. Not so much. I mean, he did okay in the sprint. He got a spot. He didn't gain any spots, but in the sprint, but because he was just doing his thing, calmly as ever. Of course, Oscar Pastry. So one of my favorite tweets of all time is back when the first hole. I feel like Oscar's been such a good McLaren boy that we forget how he got here.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, the whole fucking Alpine incident.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, one of my favorite tweets I've ever made, which was funny and no one else found it funny, or my reach isn't that good because I'm not famous, was who is Oscar Piastri, or why is a pastry mad at some trees? Because Alpine trees.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah. Again, yeah. We totally was like, oh yeah, he had this whole, it's been, the tweet of, to inform you that was the meme for a whole year. And now it's just Oscar World Championship contender, quote. Oh, wait, sorry, can we not do that? Is it only Lando who wins 3 races and he's considered a World Drivers' Championship?
No, totally.
Sorry. Yeah. Speaking of double standards, this was something I did see a reel on this, so it's out there. if we're ready to move on, but we're not.
I mean, I'll just piggyback off of.
No, it's not related. It's
No,
not
you're
as
good.
near related as I thought it was going to be.
You're
so,
good.
go
I was
on.
like, I literally will just piggyback off of saying my number one star was also Oscar. I didn't have a whole lot to say other than he's just on fire this weekend. He took the sprint from P3 to P2 and started and finished first in the Grand Prix. So not a lot for me to say other than phenomenal job. Anyways,
Yeah, sorry.
no, you're good.
Like my brain was just already going. Saw a reel that was. So now that we have the right rookie driver and Liam, now the car's a problem. It wasn't the car when the Mexican driver. It wasn't the car's problem. It's the driver problem. But now, it's the car. The car's always been shit. It's always the car is Max's car. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here with. We're getting into blatant racism at this point. So, anyway, just want to point that out there and make sure you're all aware of what's happening there.
I did have a couple of follow-up honorable mentions for the stars. Joe Bauer was on top of it this week with penalties and sending shit to the stewards and shit like that. Of course, Joe Bauer being the, I believe, technical delegate for the FIA. You'll see him as the person, I think we've mentioned this before, as the person who's there whenever they're being weighed. That's Joe Bauer. Phenomenal person.
Santa Claus without the beard.
You'll learn to love him when he's issuing Max Verstappen a penalty. You'll learn to hate him when he's issuing your favorite driver a penalty, even if it's Max Verstappen that you love.
He's the part of the FIA you actually don't boo.
Yeah,
he's the good part. He's on the ground doing the real stuff. He's not making bullshit up at the top. So,
speaking of the people that you are cheering and are leading the race, Burt Mylander. 25 years as safety car driver for Formula One.
Hell yeah.
Phenomenal. That was an insane stat that I pulled this weekend, and we didn't even really get to see him this weekend.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that stat too is we talked about it. We're like, it's still Burt this year, right? And then the Reddit post.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
25
Totally
years,
is. 25 years.
Hell yeah.
Oh god.
That's a tornado.
That is indeed a tornado. That's wild. And it's nighttime. That's not great. For yeah. All right. I've got a few yaps for this week, which are mostly just memes and shit that admin has posted and things like that.
Can we steal the old WTF 1 bit where we award the constructors meme championship? Hey, they haven't done it. They're not doing it. I don't know.
We
if
don't have
WTF
anything to
wants.
give out, so
Our sponsor, nobody.
our sponsor, no one. So I think I showed you the one, but you I think saw it as well on your own. But it was the Lawson talking about Tsunoda and that Tsunoda had his time. I beat him in the junior series. Someone fucking top comment. Just put the P20 in the bag, bro. It was so good. I loved it. Let's see.
Also, that stat is not correct. I mean, yes, there was a couple bespoke incidents where they exchanged ones, but overall, Yuki has the superior record over Lawson in every series,
which is fantastic. We have after Australia. Well, can't be worse than 8th and 10th regarding Ferrari. Ferrari, here, take this double DSQ. To make it worse, it's not a double DSQ because they fucked up once, but 2 distinct DSQs because they independently fucked up each car. Let's see. Oh, some excellent news for Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel has reclaimed his place as Ferrari's top point scorer.
Just
proven that even retirement can't keep my man down.
I can't wait to see him in Japan in 2 weeks.
Yeah, where he's still once again their top point scorer. What a wild time on that. I've fucking saved this and also took a write down for it. But Mercedes admin on Instagram, if we had £1 for every time we had to change our post-race graphic this season, we'd have £2, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. God. Let's see. Oh, so this one is going to require some context for you because it also requires some context for me because while I watch the animes and I like planes, I haven't watched the plane anime. And I've got to find where I put that. Because it's not there. What the fuck?
Speaking of planes, stalling.
Stall.
Pull up.
Stall.
Actually, don't pull up. Down.
Push.
Aim down.
Pull
Slightly.
down. Wow, I didn't save that one. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, I just put it further on. It's in downloads, not in... No, it's in Reddit, and the other one was in downloads. Okay, so...
In Android. Hey, Android, you're listening. Your file management is annoying.
Yeah, it is. So IL Komatsu...
So I'm not switching to iPhone, though, so don't message me.
IL Komatsu was, quote, delighted, end quote, for the double points finish. But he cautions that the VF25's fundamental problems haven't been solved. And so some of you weebs might know where this is going. So he mentioned the VF25, and someone else mentioned the actual picture that I'm about to show you in the comments, that they needed to upgrade to the V25 or VF25F, right? I want you to look at this plane, because this is how this plane is in this anime, and tell me that it's not a Haas livery.
It is a Haas livery. Also, it looks very Genlocky. But
I mean, similar premise. Macross was the whole like plane turns into fucking Gundam fighter sort of thing.
of course.
Yeah, of course. But like this is legitimately like fucking somewhere mixed between F-22 and F-14 and maybe F-18 somewhere in there, and yeah. Anyways,
I was like, there's some Sequoia in there.
yeah, definitely some Sequoia in there. But Haas livery, basically. And I'm just sitting here like, is that where this livery came from? Is that where the VF25 livery came from? Is from the VF25F? Which is insane if true. I had some other memes to show you. So this is me. Fucking great for a audio podcast, but I might just send these to Dakota if he wants to put them in.
Yeah, if you send them, and if you listen to the podcast, thank you for listening. Go over to the YouTube where I will spend extra 20 minutes adding all these to the video.
So it's me for real. Yay!
It's a little, for the people who aren't go to the YouTube, it's a little big-eyed gerbil mouse?
Hamster? Something like that.
Hamster.
It's got the little Williams hat on.
I think it's just I'm just a girl meme, basically.
Yeah.
But it's, little familiar.
Shout
out to low poly Carlos Sainz dancing every day until Williams gets a podium.
Fucking phenomenal. This is not even a meme. This is just I was here.
Yep.
Fucking Albon in first place.
Yep.
And
get the camera.
Fucking Carlos finishing MP10 after the double Ferrari DSQ. Tell Fred. I want him to know it was me. I think that's what I've got.
That's
for
our
memes.
meme review.
Meme review.
Get a week off. Unless there's anything else, we'll move to wrap.
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything else for this chaotic mess of of an episode.
Yep. That is the Chinese Sprint and Grand Prix, the Chinese race weekend. Joe Goni was there. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, Joe was there. I love Joe.
So no special Joe placard except just his seat in the Ferrari garage, I guess. Yep, week off to what is arguably, I think Coda is still technically my favorite track, but I was like, Suzuka's kind of really up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good track. But yep, Japan. We're gonna go in slam. Hopefully not too wall at high speed. As we look at that, of course, the only track with the intersecting of the tracks, very cool. Rain, not so much a factor now, given that, but it can still happen. Hopefully, I want to see Seb just because we love Seb here. We stand. He may as well be Stan because we stand for that fucker. But yep, 53 laps of Suzuka lap record, 2019. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Gotta love this book. It's so good. It's got facts and things, and it's usually so much a championship decider, but not so much here. So we just get to have some fun. We have seen the rumors. We don't do the rumors here. Even as a Yuki fan who would love to see that rumor happen because it'd be fucking funny. We don't like to talk about rumors because rumors are rumors. So, but week off, and then we'll see you in Japan. Anything else?
I think that's from earlier when
We have one more meme.
nope.
Mr. President, there's a second meme.
Second meme. Mr. President, there's a second Ferrari DSQ.
Oh God, that's a good one.
No, I think the thing from earlier. Oh no, we've been going for quite a minute. So this might be what you were talking about, but also it might be. I'm gonna check it just in case it's an update or anything. But
I doubt if there is anything, we won't hear anything for a little bit.
no, probably not.
We know how Red Bull handles things, so.
Anyways,
Anyway, we'll see you in Suzuka. Ciao.
ciao.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod.